Hi guys, I'm just going to quickly have another little rhythm lesson for you so you can kind of get more advanced with your rhythm learning. If you'll notice, I put some charts up for you all the way from like charts 1 through 10. We're not going to do the later charts right now. However, you should be able to read and count up to chart 2 at this point because we've learned quarter notes and half notes. Today I'm going to teach you about whole notes. So here we go. So if you remember, quarter notes look like this. And if you want to open up your chart, oh, here, let me move my camera. There you go. If you want to move your chart, or if you want to open your chart, you can open up to chart 1 or chart 2, and you can follow along here. So these quarter notes are just counted 1, 2, 3, and 4. One quarter note gets one beat or one click. This is the time, or this is the beat. One quarter note gets one snap or one beat, just like that. So when I'm counting it, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, because there's only 4 quarter notes there. If I have 2 of these quarter notes grouped together from last lesson, you remember that they create half notes. And half notes get 2 beats each because 2 quarter notes make up one half note. And one quarter note gets one beat. So 2 of them creates a half note which gets 2 beats. And we'd write it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Big 1 and big 3, because the 2 and the 4 up here, they jumped inside and they joined the first part of the beat. So here we go. This is how I would count this. Or here's the beat. 1, 3. And again, that's 1, 3. And those are half notes. Let me find my eraser. Now, if I have 2 half notes here, remember their counting is like this: big 1, small 2, big 3, small 4. If I combine these half notes, it creates this note, just a circle. This is called a whole note. A whole note gets 4 beats. 4 beats. Because a half note gets 2 beats, and there's 2 of them, so 2 beats each, that's 4. So this is how I'd write the count. Big 1, little 2, little 3, little 4, because all of these beats right here jumped into the first one. So now it would be like this. Here's the beat, a snap of my finger. 1. Notice I didn't say 2, 3, or 4, because all of them jumped inside of the first one. I just held it out and I pulsed the 8th note, or I pulsed the beat. 1, and that's all it is. And that is a whole note. So when you have a rhythm like this, let's create a rhythm. These are just 2 easy measures: quarter note, half note, and whole note. So for the quarter note, 1, 2, big 3, 1, big 1, big 2, big 3, small 4, big 1, small 2, small 3, small 4, because in my half note and whole notes, other beats jumped inside of them. So I don't have to say all the numbers. So here is an example of how I would count this. So here's my snapping. Here I go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1. Once again, and you can count with me this time. Ready and go. 1, 2, 3, 1. And that's it. So those are whole notes. So now you can count quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes. One other thing I wanted to make sure to go over and review with you were the opposite of sounds. So when we're counting, what we just did, we created sound with our voice. Because anytime you see a note like this, a quarter note, half note, or whole note, these all make sound. Whenever you see sound, see it right there. These all make sound. Well, for every note of sound, there is an equal amount of silence that we can draw a symbol to create silence in music. So, for example, let me erase this. A quarter note is one beat of sound, and a quarter rest is one beat of silence. And a quarter rest is simply a Z with a C on the bottom. And that's what it looks like. So, continuing on, for every half note, there is a half rest that goes along with it. So a half note gets 2 beats of sound, and a half rest gets 2 beats of silence, or 2 beats of no sound at all. And a half rest looks like just a hat. And then the last one I'm going to show you today is, remember we just did a whole note today. A whole note gets 4 beats of sound, and a whole rest gets 4 beats of silence, or 4 beats of no sound. And a whole rest looks like this. It's the half rest turned upside down. So it's an upside down hat. So when you're counting a whole note, and then you have a whole rest in the next measure, these are different sounds, because this one there's sound happening, there's a note happening in the air. This one there's not a note happening in the air. But they are the same amount of beats. So here's the beat. 1. So I rested and I was silent for 4 beats for this one, and I said something and made sound 4 beats for this one. Yeah, and that's it for today. It's a really simple concept, simple lesson. So what I want you to do is just open up, I think it's chart number 3. Chart number 3 is the one that there's whole notes on it. So you can practice counting those whole notes and use chart 3 as your practice tool. So stay tuned for more. I might do a little bit more rhythm stuff next week, but we're also going to start learning note names next week. So see you guys later. Bye.